What's going on, everyone? Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Digital Goatz Academy. I am your host, the Digital Goat guys, where today is my Sunday. Today's my Sunday session for my weekly outlook, where I give you guys what I'm looking at throughout the market and some possible entries potentially, but more so of what my bias on some of the currencies. As you guys know, on Wednesdays is when we normally do live trading, but today is just my weekly outlet. So if you're tuning in, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way in or out, guys. Hit that like button, comment as well, things that you guys want to see or things you guys want me to improve on, and always hit that notification bell so you stay up to date on all my content. About to open this, guys. It's pretty generic. It's going to be my community that's jumping on. So I'm gonna transition from YouTube to just a more relaxed environment. And then you guys can, obviously comment when you see this video surface. Maybe, you were looking at a pair and I was completely off, or maybe we were looking at the same bias, guys. But whatever the case may be, definitely drop a comment, guys, on your way in and out. Hold on. All right. What's going on, bro? Can you hear me? Testing. Give me an audio check, bro, if you can hear me.
What's good, my guy?
What up? I already did my introduction, so you good to talk.
All right,
but
cool.
So what I was looking at, I'm already looking at gold.
You see gold coming down?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. So let me just kind of clear all this up. So for the viewers at home as well, we looked at gold last week. I spotted what I believe to be a potential head and shoulder on an 8-hour time frame, which you guys see it's been playing out. And I mean, that's pretty much as simple as it gets. When it identifies, even though it looks funky, when you identify it, does the market react in that direction? If it does, then obviously, you can consider that as the pattern completing itself, or the pattern actually forming. So yeah, I'm in agreement, Ty. I think that gold is coming down. If you look, there's a possible bearish flag pattern trying to form. This was that move that I caught last week. So if you remember, I told you I had like a sniper entry on gold.
Yeah.
So I was like maybe like 15 pips off from the top of this wick. So I was like somewhere. Matter of fact, let me just look at my entry, because I closed it out. I was like, that's too much. Let me see. Last week. Your background kind of loud.
You can say that that's an indication. That's what you set it up from the start. There will be late one.
I'm not pulling up my. Oh, okay, there we go. All right, gold. Blah blah blah.
Start the game. Subject to -7.5. Currently, -9.5.
1997.60. 1997.60 is where I caught gold.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a sniper.
Should have stayed in it. I was like, nah. 1997.60 on the dot. Yeah, definitely a sniper, right? So 1997.60. I don't think that gold is going to come back up to this position. I think that this was the movement to induce like volatility in the market. what's going to happen is that once we get, obviously a break, may come back up for a retest because now we have a new level of resistance. And if you look again, just look at where we came from. Now, I did call out a potential buy for gold, which it did buy up, but I think the greater move is to sell. So people could have taken the buy up until we got to this position, really until the previous low. See what's going on there. So consolidation, just like we always identified. I mean, plain as day, right?
Right.
Let me box it up. Where is my area? I'm on the iPad again, so everything's a little slow. So that's consolidation right there. Oh. And there's no major news coming out today. Obviously everything's going to be price action. So this was consolidation right here. Let me get rid of that because we know that once was resistance. A consolidation right here, right? Consolidation. All right, consolidation on the 1 hour time frame. Look what price did. Price came back to the previous low of this consolidation before it started pretty much rejecting this area. So, we have two confirmation that's pretty much allowing us to confirm the bias on the market, continuing to sell. One, that we have consolidation. The market is rejecting at the bottom of it, as far as we can see. Now, obviously, we still have a whole, market session to go into. So things can change, but based off of what we're seeing right now, it's giving us the bias on that this market is continuing to sell. I meant to turn it back to a candlestick chart to see if it wicks. So yeah, even this wick came into it. If you look, that small wick. Now we want to break. We want a continuation. We don't want to get gun ho and say that this is necessarily to sell, which I do believe it is to sell. I mean, we're pretty much right at here. And what does the market normally do? It reacts off these levels, even if that's not the true move, right? To pretty much manipulate people to jump in these moves premature. But right here is what's important, because normally on a Sunday, you see something like that happens. There's a lot of wick right here, which is the bottom. And there's a wick that popped up within these wicks right here. So it collected the money that was left over from these wicks pushing down. This wasn't a move to collect the money. This wick move, this was to collect pretty much liquidity that was left up here. But this was the move that is starting to collect the money. What we want to confirm is we want, a breaker structure, and us normally with the when you're having a bearish or bullish flag, it's a previous low or a previous high that is breaking. So once it actually forms a previous low for us, which, for us, we want to be in this position. This is the better position because even if it rises, it gives us time to make a decision versus like waiting for a move all the way down here. I think I got in somewhere up here too. But if we just turn it to a line chart, we want to see and start breaking it down.
All right.
What was that, an hour? So we either want a continuation from here or we want like a small retest back up to one of these zones up here.
So how far down?
So we do,
because we already retested that 171 zone. So I was thinking, and I was looking at the news. The news dropped on, I think, Tuesday. There's gonna be some major news. Tomorrow, gonna be some light shit. It didn't say, high impact. It was just saying like low impact. But I know for sure Tuesday gonna be some shit. If you look at Tuesday for the US dollar, that shit crazy.
Yeah, I looked all over Tuesday. I actually fast forward all the way to Wednesday because that's really what I care about. But to show us that that goes to show us that those 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, what you even in the market for. You know what I'm saying? With all that volatility that's gonna come out. You see what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
That goes into us practicing like ignoring the market those 2 days because it's going to manipulate people. But again, like I said, being in during London, making your money then will give you a chance to assess New York versus like trying to catch moves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, that's my battle plan for us is that we make money during London, you know what I'm saying, whether it's pass or fail, and then we analyze New York and then look to enter New York at 10 o'clock, around that 10 o'clock block hour, right? So gold did break, at least on the 15-minute time frame, previous low, right? Well, on the 5 minute. If you look, this was the previous low. Obviously, we want to see a candle push back into there unless it's just continuing. Now, if it continues, we know that what's probably going to happen is that this market is going to pop back up like towards London. So if it doesn't retest like around like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tonight, then yeah, you pretty much prepare yourself for this market to potentially push back up here. But again, like I said, the momentum is like super high to the downside, in my opinion.
It really is. And you see how it's moving on a higher time frame too. It's just all
Right.
signs
Well,
lead
this
downward.
was what time frame was this that we called this? Did we see
2
anything on
hours.
the 8 hour? Well, here's the thing, like when you just look at it like how we had it, what time frame was that? I think it was the hour. Where was it? It might have been the 2 hour. No, it had to been. Yeah, this was close to it. So like if you just look at it, it's giving you a basic, simplistic move of break and retest. Not to mention when you just look like we looked at it on the 8 hour time frame, that's where we spotted it. I mean, this to me looks like a retrace of like 30% of this candle. So let's look at it with a fib, which will signify what? Strong momentum to the downside. 50%, even
You gonna do
better.
the fib from the
I didn't
top
even
down,
see
right?
that.
Right, yeah, that's it. Yep.
From just this candle, just this candle, because we have to see what this market is trying to do in orientation to this candle. This is continuation from last week, right?
Yep.
So if
Yep.
this is continuation from last week, it shouldn't pull back as aggressive unless literally it's switching directions. You know what I'm saying? So the pullback should be somewhat shallow, confirming that it's aggressively to the downside. The stronger the move to the downside or the up, like the stronger the candle, the shallow the pullback. You know what I'm saying? That's something that
Right.
I live by. So it's like if you see a big ass candle, you should only expect like a 38 to maybe 50% retracement. You know what I'm saying?
For the pullback, right?
So this candle is probably big on like yeah, as far as like your pullback. So this is a big ass candle. And if you just look at it, well, there's a lot of wicks up here, so we can't necessarily count this. But once we get more data, you'll see that on the higher time frame, it's like, wow, man, that pullback was like nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing, and it just kept the market going. So it's literally continuing. Remember, we had the conversation over the weekend. It's
Right.
still moving, but that data can't be pushed in until you have players like us in the market. So once that data gets pushed in, then you'll start having those reactions that were over the weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because everything is like, I hate using this terminology now, but they say it so often. Everything is data dependent. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
once the data pours in, that's when you get the reaction of what the market
But
is
that's a
doing. So
damn true statement, though. That's a
well,
true
it's
statement.
that in the past that they tried to stay away from just looking at this used to traders up in the past. I'm talking about like before me and you were trading, like to stay true to the data because the data wasn't as accurate as it is today. Like on the number sense and on the technical bias, technicals are trusted more than fundamentals these days. Our predecessors, they trusted fundamentals more, and that only worked if you had bigger capital. But since you have, smaller guys playing in, technicals are way more important than fundamentals because technicals will put you right there versus like ballpark. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And so using the fib, see that wick just scared me. I'm actually in it for the sell too, though.
Me too. I don't think I think we're good. If you just look at the pattern, like I said, if you just look at the pattern, it's a potential bearish flag, right? If
Yeah,
you
I'm about
just
to
look
say
at it
that.
overall.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It's bearish flag because that big ass red, what's the name right there, and then that pattern that you drew, right?
Right. The pattern, these lines that I drew, let me get the fib out the way. These lines that I drew were supposed to represent the potential of the bearish flag, right? So if you look at it, we just draw where the flagpole is at. This is the flagpole. You know what I'm saying? Potentially, you know what I mean? Potentially. So what we should see, right. Hypothetically. No, I say potential because it's like I'm more leaning on it. When I say potential, I'm more leaning that direction than not. You know what I mean? Hypothetical is like I'm kind of finicky because it's like if the market pushes data in that I wasn't expecting and then pushes it up, I mean, it just violated my pattern. So more than likely, this is potential right now, and we're consolidating, which is good. You see, it hasn't really tried to push up anymore. It rejected that, and the only thing that we're doing is consolidating, which makes sense. We're in Sydney and Tokyo session. We shouldn't have big momentum moves. We should just have like short bursts from, that data actually filling itself in. But when you're looking at these, bearish and bullish flags, you kind of want them to be like a long pole. Basically, you want to look at it as like a flag. So the bear side is an upside down flag. You want it to have somewhat of a long pole. And on the opposite side, when you're looking at a bullish flag, same thing. So you want it to be high up. Right. So you want it to be basically high up and then it, trailing up a little bit. Well, trailing down a little bit and then push up. You don't want it like
crazy. I knew what that was. Like I from using a harmonic scanner, I knew what like those patterns was, but I never like understood whether like you just explained it, a pole with the flag hanging. Like I never looked at it that way. Good shit.
It took me a while to comprehend somebody because I didn't care about the flagpole. I cared about like just the flag. But then I started looking like, okay, that has to make sense because what the pole is doing is exemplifying the aggressiveness of the move. And the flag is just basically the correction saying like, hey man, I'm chilling out, but I'm continuing in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So it's like that's basically us looking at it when it's coming to a pause, consolidation. Pretty much, just again, three ways the market move, up, down, sideways. We forget the consolidation part that the market has to do that to slow down in order to continue, because if it just straight went up and down, it would throw everybody's money out of balance and the whole economy. You know what I'm saying? So it has to make these short corrections. One, what are they doing? They're making you think as the retail trader, somebody probably got out. If they were in a buy, they're probably about to get wiped out because that they thought the buy was probably going to head up here, or somebody just entered in for a buy.
Stop telling my business.
Oh, I'm just saying, like this is
what happened to me just now.
This is exactly how I look at the market, because it's like that's what they're doing, man. They're waiting for us to be like, ooh, there go one. Let me go for his stop loss, or let me make him think or her think that I'm heading towards their stop loss. They make that trade a losing trade, and then I go in their direction because I just made them nervous. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in a moment where it's like you can't really call it unless you waited for it. So that's why it's like I drew this out where it's like I waited for an entry and I was like, all right, I think this entry is pretty much good. You know what I'm saying, for us to take, because it falls in with the lines of market structure.
Right. I'm just hard-headed as hell. And I'm impatient because those three greens, when I seen that first one form, then that second one, I jumped in the buy. I didn't jump in heavy, but I definitely jumped in and got spanked real quick. And then that's when you said you're going to start it early. I was solidly cursing you out like, damn, you talking about 9 o'clock.
Well, I mean, if it was 9 o'clock, you you probably would have went, but
I would have got
still
smoked.
trying to buy it, right?
No, what? I would have got smoked if I'd have had to wait the whole 9 o'clock. When you got on, the first thing you said was, "Oh yeah, remember we were talking about gold? I believe gold is selling." I jumped right out. I was sitting here thinking like,
that's too
turn around.
funny, man.
It's going
That's
down.
too
It's going
funny,
straight
man.
around. And you said that shit, I jumped right out, bro.
That's funny, man.
Word
I'm
up.
wondering if we're gonna have an opportunity. I'm gonna keep this out because again, this could give you another selling opportunity. At that 1984. 1984 was a number that I was looking at even before this market started selling. I don't know what triggered me to be around that number, but for some reason I was looking at that number heavy, 1984, and I think I was looking at it to sell from. So yeah, if we still have to wait for the market to push in more data, but I mean it's clear as day right now. Like I said, there is a level that I think the market could retrace to, but normally it'll probably feed you this, and then pop back up later on this evening or early in the morning and stuff. So by the time, what I'll do is that by the time I get like down here, if this market hasn't rejected, I probably will look for to close out, close out my profit, and then look to see if London or mid London, like after an hour into London, if the market's gonna shoot up here, push like some crazy wick. I'm not looking for a buy. I'm only looking for a sell because I won't be able to catch the buy. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen too fast. So it always does it still around structure. So don't think like it's just gonna magically do it out of nowhere. Like, nah, it's gonna hit like a level. It's gonna hit like a support level, and it's gonna kind of be all over the place and kind of consolidating. You're like, what is going on? And it shoot up here, but making people believe that it's a buy, but it could just be retesting. Well, more than likely, it's just retesting this area if it doesn't do it like around like 9-10 o'clock. But from the way it looks like, man, we got our momentum booster right here. Let me look at the Akanashi. I don't even want to look at nothing else. That's a good sign that we got a flat bottom. If that candle gets strong on this 45-minute and closes strong, that's a good sign right there, yo. That is a very good sign. Oh yeah, man, this market is showing us love early, yo.
Yo, you know it's
Bitcoin
so
too.
crazy. I know it's been like probably 3 weeks since Crypto John dropped that thing in the chat where he was like, gold 1,800. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see gold going down, 1,800 be the first number to pop in my head, bro. Whoa.
I actually think that, well, you already told you that I think that gold is actually going lower than that.
800.
And I think we may see it. We may see it. You know what I'm saying? No, by 2025, this may just be me talking, and YouTubers, y'all can criticize me. I'm open for the conversation. I think gold is going to be back at like $900. So, call me crazy, and that's purely off of technicals. But let me see where I even looked at gold all the way, and I was just like, man, this thing has, because what would give rise to the value of gold? What if we went to war? If we went to war, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what would give rise to the value in gold? People can barely afford. Huh?
They were talking about, based off the recession and the fear of the recession causing prices to change, and then they had to discount gold because nobody wanted to spend their money on it, but it is a asset, you know what I mean, versus the US dollar.
Right.
So they were talking about treating it as an asset that people would kind of like want to store. Silver too, because they are commodities, you know what I mean? So but
they still have to be affordable for people to even invest in, because that's literally how we're looking at the value of anything. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It would have to be affordable, because it's like you just can't have it. It would serve no purpose for wealthy people to just be buying gold at this high price. They're the only ones that's going to be making money, and that's not going to really add much value to it. The only way it adds value if there's more players buying or investing into the market. So what I think is that what's going to trigger with gold is that gold is going to go on a discount. it's going to cause people who are heavily invested in gold to kind of question if gold is there. This is just me just talking. This is just my sentiment. It's going to cause people to question like what the state of gold is, if gold is going to lose value. And it's probably going to give people like a chance. Maybe not 900. I may have been over the top with like 900 with that. I don't know why I said 9. I think I was looking at something else with 900. I was looking at something else. So like 1200, yo, for sure. Like 1200, because look, bro, look where it is every time. What is that right there? Tell me what that is right there. Even though we're in a 3-month time frame. That is exactly right. So it'll be no surprise if gold came all the way down there and everybody's like, I can't believe gold is at 1200. Like
bro, we seen it happen with crypto. We seen it happen with oil. So why not? Like I literally eyes on the market seen these things tank. You know what I mean? I'm just learning that news and different things have a play in that, but I've seen it. You've seen that shit firsthand, bro.
This is what I say. This is what I told Gray this not too long ago. I was like, the conditions that our predecessors used to create information that we use in this market, that stuff has changed. We're now the individuals. That are pretty much going to have to write the script for the next generation to start trading and learn stuff that's new now. You know what I'm saying? So It's like, yeah, we got the fundamentals, but now there's new information that you can't stick by the old ways and rely and say that, oh man, this is going to happen. And because I saw this back in 1980, no, you can't say that no more, yo. You can't. You can use some of it, but not as accurate as what people would like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the conditions have changed in the market to where it's like, bro, it's not the same how our predecessors navigated through the market, you know what I'm saying? You can't rely on just fundamentals alone. You can't just rely on news. It's a combination of many things, and we're gonna have to write that information for the next wave to be able to make sense of this market. Because if you just stick to old ways become what? They become obsolete, you know, after a while. And we're in the stage now to where what our predecessors learned, that stuff doesn't just work alone. You know what I mean? It's a starting point, definitely. You know what I'm saying? It'll get you started, but just holding on to it, like, whoa, back in 19, man. So I can see gold coming back to 1245. If gold's come back to 1245, guess who's gonna say that? You know what I mean? Like, I called it, yo, and I'm gonna be buying all the way there. You know what I'm saying? Me buying all the way from there. If gold can push all the way, you know how, bro, I'm talking about, like, this is what I was talking about years in, where we may be at the height of some of these currency pairs and at the low. So where it's like, all you got to do is catch the entry. Don't look for the opposite wave. Like, oh man, I'm trying to buy up. And it's like, you clearly can see gold is selling. Wait for it to buy up, then wait for the sell, because it's the better move. You know what I'm saying? As we get confirmation, it's like, I'm not going to be, I'm sure you've heard of people like, we had a lady before that used to be like, yo, I'm buying Nas and I'm only looking for buys, because at that time, Nas was in an uptrend. So it didn't matter if it was selling 2,000 pips. She cared about the buy more, because the buy was the more aggressive move. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have that discipline yet.
I mean, I'm giving numbers. It may not be like, I'm sure she caught a seller too. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say, bro.
I'm sure she caught, but no, like, bro, it pays you more to be patient and wait for it to come to your entry, instead of seeing a action in the market and then react off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It pays you more. I'm telling you.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But yeah, let's go crypto. Let me look at Bitcoin. That's pretty much it. All my viewers, that's pretty much it. My focus is on gold, but I will tell you guys that I think Bitcoin is not necessarily going to take off to the moon, but I think we're about to see some major bullish momentum from, look at that right there. Some major bullish momentum from cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it blowing through all this. So that 48, I looked at that 48K number that you were looking at. I'm thinking 44 before we can make a decision on what it's trying to do. But this is clearly bullish here. Like, look at it. It's even giving you an inverted head and shoulder. You see it digitally. You see it left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And obviously, like it's going to push the move up and then come back around. So make no mistake, I could see Bitcoin rising up to like 35, rejecting 35. That would be the bottom of this consolidation, somewhere in that zone, and then pushing all the way back to like 22K. It's not just going to give you the moves like we like. But again, this is cryptocurrency, so it does do that. It does just take off and never come back. But remember how I told you, like, it takes a while for these moves to come back, to retest. It's not the generic way of like break and retest how we see on regular Forex pairs. What's going to happen is that it's going to push up and then probably push all the way back down here, making people to believe that we're selling just to retest this consolidation, then pop back up. So as long as you keep your head, focused that, okay, it has to retest these areas unless it just gets crazy momentum and just starts taking off. But this is an inverted head. This is an inverted head and shoulder. Price is extremely bullish from here. I would like to see a pullback around 22, but I was just looking for buys until the market shows me otherwise. Yeah, that's pretty much it, bro. I missed oil. Definitely missed oil. Oh man, it's still going too.
Did it clear up that gap?
I'm gonna.
Oh no, it's
Nah,
almost
it's close, man. It's close, dude. But like I said, I believe that oil's coming down. So actually, we may be able to catch a sell here too. I think oil's coming down. I don't think oil's coming like high like people want it. I think oil's gonna come down to 51 really. I want to see oil at 50, maybe pushing 51, but no, I'm not. No, I'm not. 40. I said I wanted to see 25. I think oil is going to come down to $41, $39 before actually getting bullish again. It's just showing you that it wants to push down. Nothing about this says that I want to buy up. Every move that it made to the upside looked like moves that it was just doing in order to continue to sell. Now, the only thing is it pushing into consolidation over here? If you see, like, for example, you see how oil popped up here, somebody could have thought that was a buy move. What did it start doing? Consolidating hard. So I'm wondering if we're going to see that over here, because you see it's struggling. It's not going to just decline because gas prices will be on sale. What it's going to do, it's going to be slow. So what we'll probably have here is that oil pretty much consolidate potentially within this 2-week time frame, probably for like a couple, maybe for like I don't know, like a month and a half. It may consolidate, giving you buy and sell opportunities over here, just to bring it down. But I do not think that oil is bullish. I think that oil is bearish. And I think that once we get another entry, I'll try to wait for a higher entry, me personally, in order to catch it, higher up and then sell it down from there. But I do think that we are still bearish on, I probably said bullish, but bearish on US oil, which just start bringing down UK oil. Because I know over there across the water in Europe and in United Kingdom, they were struggling when it came to like energy over the winter because of the high price of oil. So their heating was super high. So a lot of people were worrying if they were going to actually freeze to death. I think that they're going to have a lot of relief off of oil and stuff. So I see prices coming down, which will do what? This will entice people to be buying more gas, right? And then they can enact their plan of flooding the industry with electric vehicles, because now people feel comfortable driving again, and they're going to get complacent, not realizing gas prices are going to go back up in the future. And then boom, everybody's going to be forced to get an electric vehicle versus having one already. And I plan to already have an electric vehicle. So You got anything else, bro?
Well, I was just looking at the money that I missed today with XRP, and I'll probably wait till you not broadcasting and chop it with you about it though.
All right, well, I'm gonna close it out and then we can talk or whatnot. So appreciate you guys for jumping on as always. Y'all can find me Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Today I did it a little bit early, so by the time you guys see it, it won't be this wasn't recorded at 9, but it was recorded at like 8:30. So as always, guys, like I appreciate you guys. Hit that like button on your way out. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my content, guys. And again, I have a trading community, guys, for experienced traders and new traders. You guys will just have to reach out to me on my Instagram at CEO_digital goats. That is CEO_digital goats. And as always, guys, see you at the top because we're taking everybody to the top this year.
And